Cool. Well, thanks so much for being a part of our resilience series. I appreciate it so much. It was, my idea with a few other team members to be able to come together and just talk about, I know that we all experienced a difficult, past year, and we all went through hard times and challenges, and whether it was, through the pandemic or, experiencing so many different changes as a young person, as a business owner, nonprofit leader, family member. There's so many things that have happened over this last year. And I thought as we came together to kind of revive Rise Together, we thought what better way to bring people together than by sharing stories and reconnecting and just sharing how we've gotten through the difficult times over this last year, because we know that hard times are inevitable, right? They're going to happen. And so how can we, continue to show up not only for ourselves so we can show up for other people, but also like what are some of those specific things that we've done, to remain resilient. And so that's kind of the backstory of coming up with the Resilience series. It's also tied to our Rise Together fundraiser. So we launched a fundraiser to help really revive Rise Together, to continue to promote and support and develop and implement youth programming. And I'm really excited to have you a part of this conversation tonight, because you are a part of one of Rise Together programs. And, obviously we can get into the details of what that was like for you. But you were a part of Discovery Corps as a peer wellness coach and mentor and leader within your school. And I'm just so incredibly grateful to be able to have you, a part of this conversation, to not only share a little bit about what being a part of that program was like, but also how you're taking, a lot of what you learned through your high school years as you go into college. Well, actually all of your years of schooling and life experience, right? It's not just high school, but being able to take that as you move forward into college. And so I appreciate you being here. And also I will be posting the link to anybody that does feel called to donate to Rise Together to support youth programs. Please do so. That will be in the comments. And if also at the very end, we will be announcing the winner. So every week we're having people register for these events to be offered into either a free drawing from the speaker, a gift from Rise Together, or some exciting offering. And so we are giving all of this out for free in hopes that people will continue to support young people and youth programming. So thank you so much, Nick. To start it off, I figured I would have you kick it off to share a little bit about yourself and who you are.
So my name's Nick Aliota. I just graduated from Appleton West High School, where I, among other things, played baseball. I did Rise Together, a group called Discovery Corps, which was probably like one of the biggest things that helped me get through junior year. And now I'm going over to UW-Oshkosh to become a history teacher.
Dang, that's amazing. Congratulations. First of all, congrats on graduating this last year. I know that we don't maybe have to go into all the details or specifics, because we probably would be here all night on what that experience was for you. But I would love to hear a little bit more about some of the, I know you were not only a part of Discovery Corps, but you were a part of a couple different groups while you were in high school, and just share a little bit more of what that experience was for you. Like, why did you, first of all, what do you see Discovery Corps as, and what was it like for you to participate in a program like that?
Yeah, so I got into Discovery Corps when Mr. Larsh, a teacher at West, came up to me and said, "Hey,
shout out to Larsh."
Yeah, if he better be watching this. Otherwise, I'm gonna have not so nice phone call.
Right.
No, he walked up to me one day in class and was like, "Hey, you like to help people. I like to help people. This group likes to help people. Come help people." And that's kind of how I got in. There were a few videos from you and Anthony in homeroom, but Larsh coming up to me was like, "Yeah, you're perfect for this." And then I realized, pretty good for this. And it was huge because I moved to West that year after being in Neenah for almost 10 years, I think. And it was one of the first things that I joined, and it was awesome because it was a group of, I think, like 15 people tops, and getting to know those people first off was great because it helped me build up some more social skills, just meeting people, going out of my bubble, and just meeting new people that I've never seen before. And I think I only knew one person from Discovery Corps prior to joining it. And we went through a little over 100 hours of training last year to become peer mental health coaches with a license. And there was a lot of emotions through those, and it was great. Like, we all got to share stuff that we were comfortable with that we may not have been comfortable in other areas, like outside of Discovery Corps, and we got super, super close. Like, I still talk to all those people, even the guys that graduated, and it's great. And I think Lars told me that we helped around 35 people throughout the school year. Granted, we were only up for second semester, really just third quarter, and that's 35 people in one quarter of the school year. And I thought that was amazing. And helping those people was great. Like, we got to talk to people, our peers, and help them with some stuff that they wouldn't be comfortable talking maybe with like a school counselor. And from what I get, like what I took away from Discovery Corps is that's kind of like one of the biggest reasons why it exists is for the people that don't have that trusted adult to come to us and talk to us about some things. And it was just, I don't know. I think every school definitely needs a Discovery Corps.
Yes, I agree. Biasly, I don't even know if that's a word, but definitely biased just because I love the program. I also, of course, went through the training with all of you guys, or was a part of it. And I just remember distinctly for your group, when you, everybody like went through the training, and like the very end, I too just heard from so many of the students that they were just so grateful that it was like you were walking away as a family, right?
Yeah.
Like, you walked in, you didn't really know, like you said, too many people who were going to be a part of it. And it was such a dynamic group of individuals coming from all walks of life. And I think what was really most powerful for me too is just to see and hear so many different stories, and to find that yet like relatability and connection of knowing that like you're there because you want to help other people. And to hear like that experience for you, like how impactful that was for you. And now what does it look like for you as you kind of take that experience with you as you go into college?
I mean, it definitely made me more aware of the kind of programs that I can be looking out for, like Discovery Corps, anything to help people out. And I've been focused on some other things, so I haven't really looked too much into it at UW-Oshkosh, but I know there are programs to help people, and I can't wait to join them. But it also gives me the tools to, like, let's say like one of my friends is having some issues, I can go talk to them and put them on a wellness plan and be like, hey, well, you know what? Here's all this that we can do to help you try to overcome that. And that is one of the biggest things that I took away from Discovery Corps. Like, aside from just that bond, I mean, like you said, it totally was a family. It is a family. Like, the day we finished our training, I forgot who made the group chat, but they named it like Disco Family, and it's like, yeah, that's fitting. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, going into college, like it gives me a lot of tools that I wish more people would have. But the fact that I have it and I'm able to help people with it, I think is pretty powerful to me.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What would you say? So now that you're able to take all of these experiences and tools and skills with you, as you continue to move forward, one of the big things, why we're sharing around this resilience series is also to talk about, what were some of those specific tools maybe that you learned that you were able to use in your own life? Because I know a lot of Discovery Corps and like even some other programs, it's a lot about helping other people, which is awesome. But we all know that to help other people, we have to like take care of ourselves first, right?
Yeah.
And so what would you say were some of the top things that helped you over this last year to remain resilient?
I would definitely say, like, positive relationships and healthy activities, like baseball above anything. And I mean, it was kind of both. Like, it gave me that physical aspect that I needed, like to take out whatever I needed to. And it also gave me those friends, those teammates that I could talk to about a lot of stuff, and just new friends that I wouldn't have made otherwise. Um, and mentors were a huge part. Like, I keep talking about Lars. Like, he helped me out through a lot. Like, I don't know where I would be right now if he hadn't talked to me, like, before school even started and reached out. Like, mentors to me is always a huge part, because having those peer connections is amazing, and I hope that everyone has them. But what helps me out a lot is having a mentor, because there's someone more times than not that's a little older, more mature, understands things more, which is how I related to Lars a lot, because he gets it, you know? And I don't know, some of those teammates wouldn't maybe get it, but having that person that does get it is huge to me.
And I think in other terms, like having someone with lived experience, right? So maybe somebody that has been through it, or has already, struggled in that way, or maybe overcame something, right? Like, then they're able to share what they learned and like what they did about it, right?
Yeah.
And I think what's so cool is that now you are able to take like your lived experience and give that back to other people. And so one of the questions for the series, we have everybody that registers, they have an opportunity to ask the speaker a question. And one of the questions that somebody wrote in said, what does Nick mean by everyone deserves to have their person? Can you just expand? I know you kind of shared a little bit about it now, but just expand a little bit more on what that means to you.
Yeah. So when I went to Nina, I was in this freshman mentorship program called Launch, and it said every Rocket deserves their champion, because they're the Nina Rockets. And that always kind of stuck with me. And through Discovery Corps, it's like, okay, well, we're really helping these people one-on-one. Because, like, some of us only met with one person. I only met with one person over that year, but that's still one person that I helped. And they are a fantastic human being. They are great. But what I mean by that is, like, everyone deserves to have their person to go to about whatever. If, like, literally anything that they need to talk about, someone that they can go hang out with, or talk about, hey, I'm feeling kind of sad about this, or I'm really excited for this. And people that are reaching out to them too, like the people that are reciprocating that relationship back to them. And I don't know, like I said, connections to me are one of my biggest, like, coping mechanisms, kind of like things that I depend on a lot. It helps me get through stuff. And I think everyone deserves to have that person that helps them get through everything like that.
Yeah, 100%. I know for me, coaches, mentors, leaders, they're all people that I consistently lean on and search for, and as I continue to grow, then I continue to find, new leaders and new mentors. And it's, one of the things that though I feel is most difficult is finding that person, right? So what kind of advice would you give to somebody, say they are in a space where maybe they're looking for a mentor, or they're looking for a coach, or maybe someone that they could connect with? What kind of advice would you give to them if they were to, be interested in searching for that person?
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly a pretty tricky question. Like, knowing what kind of resources are out there is pretty big. Networking yourself is even bigger, I think, because I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of supportive people while I've been in high school, where people are paid to be like, hey, what's up? But then I make those connections that even out of high school, I still have those people that are saying, hey, what's up? And I honestly, like, outside of high school, it's pretty tricky. But like I said, knowing what resources are out there, like knowing groups, there's like Big Brothers, Big Sisters. My brother went through that a little bit, kind of, and his mentor is helping him out a lot. So I don't know. And sometimes, like, it doesn't even need to be you getting that mentor. It could be you mentoring somebody else, and then you reciprocate that relationship, like I was saying earlier. like in the Boys and Girls Brigade, a lot of those mentors that I've had there at the Brigade in Neenah, I still talk to. It's, I don't know, like to find someone, it's just putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. That's always the first step, and more times than not the hardest step to finding that person is to be vulnerable and be like, hey, you know what? I need a little help with this. Like it's definitely the trickiest part for me was talking to people and saying, hey, you know what? I'm not okay. I need a little help.
Yeah, 100%. That was like the perfect answer if there was one, because it's true, right? And a lot of times people are afraid to ask for help, or they're afraid to feel like not being okay is okay, when we know that not being okay is okay, right? And it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to struggle, because even like we said, like when we started the conversation, like struggle is inevitable. It's something that is going to happen. And so when we're able to, you know, be courageous and step out of our comfort zone and reach out and reach, you know, to different resources and different people. But even like you said, like sometimes we can be our own mentor.
Yeah.
And also look at different mentors. For me, a lot of my mentors are like authors or other, you know, professional speakers or other educators or people that maybe I've never even met before, but they've had such a profound impact on my life that I've been able to learn from them. And so, no, I think that that's really awesome. And I'm so grateful that, you know, you were able to be a part of Discovery Corps and to be able to take all these skills and tools and resources that you learned, and now to be a graduate of Appleton West High School is super exciting. So I congratulate you on that. And I really appreciate you being a part of, you know, this conversation. One thing, and I know like I'm trying to keep these not too long, but before we start to wrap it up, I am curious to know what would you, or what kind of advice would you give to someone, say that actually maybe they are struggling right now, or they're going through a difficult time? What would you say, like, what is one thing that you would recommend to them to do?
To be vulnerable and reach out, because the first step to like getting help is acknowledging that you need it. And I don't know, when we're uncomfortable, we don't like it, and it's like, okay, I want to get out of this, but being uncomfortable is like how we grow as people. And taking that step to be vulnerable with someone, it honestly, it doesn't go your way every single time, but when you find that person that gets it, it helps out a lot more. Just being vulnerable to someone that you trust is one of the biggest things I could say.
Yeah, I love that. That's perfect. That's so great. And I think understanding vulnerability is courage, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That it's not a weakness. In fact, it's a strength. And so that is, yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, Nick, coming on and sharing this. So before we end, I do want to be sure that we announce our winner for next week. I will also announce our speaker for next week. And so again, if anybody has any additional questions, feel free to post them in the comments. You can post them now just because I'm going to announce the speaker. But if you have any additional questions for Nick, feel free to share them and I will have them answer while we're still on. And then we will close it down. All right, oh yeah. People are just commenting how awesome you are.
I try. I have an awesome mom. That's where I get a lot of it.
It's awesome. All right. Cool. So I will leave that open, see if anybody has any more questions. And right now, I'm about to do the random name generator to pick the winner of this week. So this is my drum roll. Let's see. Oh, the winner is Michelle Jaskulski. I should know how to pronounce your last name, Michelle. I'm really sorry. I probably just totally bombed that. But Michelle, you are the winner for tonight. I am going to, let's see. I'm going to actually share my screen for everybody just to show that I'm not lying. All right. So there you can see, Michelle, you are the winner. Thank you so much for participating and for registering. I appreciate everybody also who joined us live tonight. And if you are watching this later, again, we had our interview tonight with Nick, who was a recent graduate from Appleton West High School. He participated in some of Rise Together's programming, also some other incredible youth programming. And tonight we shared a little bit around the importance of mentorship, creating connections, how to reach out for help, what kind of resources are available. And if you don't know what resources are available, get educated, right?
Yes, get educated.
Is there any one last thing that you would like to share with the audience?
Oof. Now the pressure's on. I don't know, like I was saying, I mean, if you need...
There was... Oh, I was going to say there was one question that somebody asked, how has your awesome mom helped you?
Oh, geez.
Is that a family member?
It totally could be, or a friend of hers. So my awesome mom, Tracy Aliota, is the counselor at Houdini Elementary. Her and all of her friends are mostly counselors and people that like to help others. And just having her as a mom and having that like nurture aspect in my life of saying, hey, this is how you help people, this is why we help people, has been huge, because like she and all of her friends have taught me so much about listening, and I think that's like the biggest thing, and knowing when to tell when to share your story too. And she's helped me with all of that, like every single aspect of helping people. She has in some way impacted me, and I don't really know like what else to say about that. Like she has been a superstar with helping me help people and telling me like, hey, just give me some advice about how to better help people.
Okay, so now I know we're going to end soon, but I just wanted to kind of go back real quickly to what you shared. First of all, kudos to your mom and all the counselors that work with students and young people, like especially after this last year, like so much credit and love and grace to all of them. But one of the things that you said actually really popped out to me, because I think it's something that's really, really important, and it's really valuable skill that I think we even learned like within the wellness coach training, but is to be a listener, right? So what does, and I know you just kind of shared it right now, but just like the importance of actually listening to someone versus having to share your experience right away, or to tell them all the things, or to tell them what to do, just maybe just share like a mini example of how that has played out in your life, of you showing up and listening to someone first.
So when I first went through Discovery Corps, I learned pretty quickly that I like to share my story with people because I think it helps them. And a lot of the time it does, but it's knowing when to share that. And you can hear someone, you can look at this screen and see that my lips are moving, you can hear the words coming out. But you have to really focus and like pay attention and really give that person your entire focus to listen to what they are saying, to really understand and comprehend what they are saying, rather than just being like, oh yeah, well see, here's what I do, or here's what happened to me. Like there are those times when you say, yeah, this is what happened to me, but you can't just say it and just drop the ball there, making it about you. It's got to be about that person that you are helping.
Yeah, yep, 100%. Well, I think that that is a fantastic note to leave on.
Oh, yeah.
I think how incredibly impactful that can be, and that is one of the things that I've learned the most, especially with young people, is that they ultimately just want to be heard, right? They want to feel like their voices matter and that their voices are being heard. And so I'm just grateful that Rise Together has been able to create a platform for young people like yourself to share your story and speak your truth. So thank you so much, Nick, for being a part of our Resilience series. We are going to have some other young individuals a part of the series as we continue to move forward. But to announce our next speaker for next week, we are going to be bringing in a beautiful woman called, her name is Taryn Strong, her name is Taryn Strong, and she is a woman in long-term recovery, and she'll be coming on to share a little bit about her story and who she is. She helped to co-found an international organization called She Recovers, which is a beautiful organization that focuses on supporting all women and from all different walks of life. So being able to support them no matter what their recovery journey looks like or where they've been through or what they've gone through, just creating a safe and brave and healing space for them to seek support and to get connected and to learn and grow. I've actually gone to a few of their conferences that they've done. One was in New York, the other was in California. They're also hosting one in Florida next year. They also do beautiful yoga retreats and just incredible work for women in recovery. So I'm really excited to have her a part of this conversation. But for now, I will share more details as it comes out starting tomorrow. But again, thank you so much, Nick, for being a part of this conversation. You know, Anthony and I, from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate you tenfold. We are so grateful for the work that you have done, along with all of the other Discovery Corps leaders at Appleton West. You are paving the way for the next generation of young leaders and mentors to learn from and to, you know, be able to help make a difference and help other people just as much as you've done already. So thank you so much. I hope you have an awesome night, and I will probably talk to you again soon.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good. See
ya.
you, Nick.